All right, yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Corey Paulson, the fantasy executive. Let's talk a little last minute fantasy football draft strategy. The Executive Network is now brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Hit the link in the comment section for a 100% deposit match, courtesy of the Executive Network and Underdog Fantasy. Win with the Executive Network and Underdog Fantasy this NFL season. All right, yeah. So what I want to get into today, obviously, most of you have had your fantasy drafts. Probably got a couple of diehards still out there, maybe some home leagues still going down. So I want to get some last-minute fantasy advice in there, just really by going through what I have already on my fantasy teams. So I didn't include my best ball teams. I didn't include any of my underdog fantasy best ball teams. As a matter of fact, you can still hop in there and grab a couple best ball teams in underdog fantasy. They still got their best ball mania and other drafts going on. If you haven't done underdog fantasy yet, there's a link in the comment section and the description where you can get involved, have a good time playing with us this upcoming season. But so basically I have right now I got 6 teams where mid-stake level teams where I'm going to be setting lineups week to week, waiver wires, and the full shebang, fantasy football, right? And I kind of wanted to go through my exposure in those leagues to kind of see what players are going to be important to me coming into the season. I still got 2 drafts left, which players to stay away from because I'm overexposed to them. And also, finally, and maybe most important, which players to get a couple shares of in my last 2 drafts. Now, the draft I have tonight, I don't know the pick. It's a snake draft. And later on this week, I'll be doing an auction draft to sort of give me 8, which is not bad. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. I understand that. But 8 to set, 8, is one of them I got a partner, whatever the case may be. Maybe it is bad. Maybe it's not. We're going to try to win some money this year. So I want to start off by talking about the player who I have the most of. He's on 4 of the 6 teams that I have so far. I'm not going to put him on any more teams. And the reason I'm not going to put him on any more teams is because what if he gets hurt? I already got him on 4 damn teams. But that's going to be Seattle Seahawks wide receiver Tyler Locket. Now, I got Lockett on 4 squads. And you know what? I like Lockett. I think Lockett is going to be solid. The thing with Lockett is he's always tremendously undervalued. Here's a guy who is a baseline of 80 catches, 1,000 yards, and 8 touchdowns. A good year, he'll give you 12, 85, and 10 touchdowns. Smith and Jigba starts the season off hurt. Geno Smith, full control of that offense. I like Tyler Lockett a lot. He's undervalued. You get him at a great round. That's why he's on 4 of my teams, because where he goes in drafts, I'm like, wait a minute, Tyler Lockett's still out there? He's a guy you can put in your starting lineup. But in some leagues, you don't have to draft as a starter. As a matter of fact, if I get him as a bench player tonight, so be it. So Tyler Lockett is my guy that I have. He's on 4 of the 6 teams. Now, these are guys that I'm about to name now are on the 3 of the 6 teams. But these guys are different because these guys are like in-game kind of guys, round 14, 15, 16 type guys. Now, with these guys, like, you're going for your guys late in drafts. It doesn't really affect your starting lineup or your team. Even with that being said, these last 2 drafts, I'm going to diversify my in-game guys. Here are my in-game guys. No homo. Pause, rather. Hunter Renfrow. I could bounce back this year. Could not. If not, I cut him. Alec Pierce. This is a guy my man Lawrence Jackson, Lord Don't Lose, likes. Indianapolis Colts wide receiver. If that Indianapolis Colts offense gets working, I can see Pierce being a guy, make a couple appearances in the starting lineup. Definitely good for depth throughout the course of the bye weeks. Deuce Vaughn, young running back in Dallas. Electric preseason. Could pop. It's good to have a couple shares of him, but I'm probably out on him for the rest. Hayden Hurst, tight end, I love in Carolina. A lot of people think that Hayden Hurst can really be a big part of the passing attack in Carolina this season. young quarterback in Bryce Young. Hurst runs quarterback-friendly routes. Hurst is the guy that if you don't have any of in your end game, you need to get some Hayden Hurst on your squads. I'm probably done with him. Like I said, I got him on 3, but I don't mind an in-game pick, a last-round pick on Hayden Hurst. Worst case scenario, you just cut him. But maybe I'll try another late-round tight end. And then finally, interestingly enough, Odell Beckham, I have on 3 of the teams. I probably won't have no more Odell Beckham shares. I think where he's being drafted, maybe a little undervalued. I'm curious to see what Baltimore's new offense is going to be. And hopefully it's good because as you're going to get ready to find out, I got a pretty heavily invested into the Baltimore Raven offense. Because when you look at some more guys that I have on these teams, right? These are guys that are on like 2 of the teams that I don't really mind. So basically these guys have about a quarter, 25% exposure. I'm probably done with these guys too, but I felt pretty good about these players to make them be on 2 teams. Zay Flowers, like I told you, I'm in the Baltimore Ravens offense. Jackson Smith and Jigba, as you probably noticed, I'm in on the passing game in Seattle as well. Devontae Adams on 2 teams. Devontae Adams is going in the second round of drafts. You can start wide receiver, and have Devontae Adams be your wide receiver too. That's pretty lit right there. And then A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown's another wide receiver I got on a couple teams as well. So pretty good exposure to A.J. Brown. Running backs, Tony Pollard. I love Tony Pollard this year. Best running back in Dallas the past couple years. I think Pollard's the number 1 fantasy asset on the Cowboys, even more so than CeeDee Lamb. Aaron Jones, I have a pretty good sum of Aaron Jones, not only in the redraft leagues, but also in best ball leagues, some of my underdog fantasy leagues. I got some Aaron Jones in those leagues as well. I'm probably not drafting Aaron Jones no more. Also, J.K. Dobbins. I got J.K. Dobbins in 2 leagues, and that's very scary. Mid-stakes section lineup tournament-style leagues. Now, if Dobbins pops, he could go crazy. Told you I'm addicted to this Baltimore Raven offense. If Dobbins pops, he could go crazy. But if he's carrying his leg, then I got him in my starting lineup on 2 teams, and I'm going to need to adjust early in the season and not going to like that. Quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson and Geno Smith. Once again, you sense a theme. Baltimore offense, Seattle offense. I need these teams to play well, or else my kids may not be happy for Christmas, or maybe I can make the money up on underdog fantasy. So there you go right there. That's my all exposure team coming into the season. Now, the guys that I want to target these last 2 drafts that I don't have enough of right now, let's start with Tyreek Hill, the most dangerous man in fantasy. I need at least 1 share of Tyreek Hill. So if you are in a draft with me these last 2 drafts, this draft tonight or this auction that I probably do on Thursday afternoon before the season start, I'm going to draft Tyreek Hill. I'm going to try to get him in that auction or something. Bijan Robinson. I think I got Bijan in some underdog fantasy best ball, but I need Bijan in a mid-state redraft. So I'm going to try to get Bijan, like I said, either tonight or in that auction team. And finally, Calvin Ridley. I don't even think I have Calvin Ridley in underdog fantasy best ball. Like, I think I don't have no Calvin Ridley. And I'm a big Calvin Ridley supporter. Kind of called Calvin Ridley's breakout. I'm a big Calvin Ridley guy. I don't know why I just didn't end up with him. I guess that's just the way the cookie crumbled. But I will have some shares, or at least 1 share of Calvin Ridley before I exit the fantasy football draft season. If you still draft and you still want to draft, Underdog Fantasy still got plenty of drafts in their lobby. You can hit the link in the description or the link in the comment section. That'll give you a 100% deposit match. The good folks over there at Underdog Fantasy. All right, good luck if you continue to have drafts. If not, you can take this little bit of information right here. Looking forward to the upcoming fantasy football season. We'll be going live this week prior to the games on Thursday and Sunday. So good times will be had right here on the Executive Network. Corey Parson, it's your boy. I'm out. Enjoy the rest of your time.